Peace and love. How are you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you okay.
Good.
If anybody has trouble, you can mention so in the comments. I can hear you just fine. Thank you so much for coming today. I want to tell everybody how we first met, which again was not in person; it was virtually. So in a way, these virtual events have been so helpful to Poesia. Thank you, Celeste. That's very nice. Thank you, Celeste. Peace and love, Leah. Danae, I think is pronounced. Thank you so much, Leah. Um, the first time that I met you was virtually. You were hosting, I believe it was the first live virtual event for Eugenia Theater Company and during poetry. It was called Spoken in Her Own Words.
Right.
You came out, as soon as you came out, and just the energy that you exuded and your voice. I'm a poet that is I love somebody that's beautiful on the ear, and I just wanted to hear you talk with the lovely, beautiful voice, and I just wanted to hear you talk for hours. I just liked your style, your vibe. You did a piece for Lorna C. Hill, the beloved Lorna C. Hill, and that was really, really moving. And that's when I just knew that I had to know you. I had to meet you. I really wanted to have you in my life.
That's so beautiful, Rachel. Thank you.
It's just the truth. It's just the truth. So a couple of things. Number one, congratulations on your recent publication in the Buffalo News. It was very
Thank
exciting.
you. Thank you. Thanks to you. Thanks to you and your hard work too. I appreciate you.
What's
I
that?
said I appreciate you making sure it got there. Yes. And all the hard work you do to make sure our poetry gets out. So, yes, enough love.
Thank you to Article for publishing, and thank you. I mean, it got a great response. People loved it. It's so empowering. The title is "I Am Love slash Life equals one." Um, can you tell us about the background about that? The background of that poem. It was a little bit of background about that poem, and then and tell us how you believe that it connects to this show, Femme Noir.
So, I am love over life equals one. It's actually like a fraction,
Thank you.
right?
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
So, meaning that love and life are one, right? The same. So, it came from one of my favorite poets of all time, Nikki Giovanni. Her poem called Ego Tripping. So I just sort of let myself ego trip a little bit. That poem is actually really old, but I wrote that poem in like 90 something and
Yeah.
late 90s.
It's timeless.
And it actually won an award. So that was shocking. It was like the first poem that let me know that I am a poet. I got like prize money for it, like that kind of thing from the UB Libraries, Academy of America. Yeah, there you go. Yep. So that was really exciting for me. That was like a threshold sort of thing. So I kept it with me. I kept it close to my heart. Yeah, I say.
Yeah,
Yep.
I loved it. I thought it was really empowering. My sister really loved it. The visuals that were gorgeous. My hips are like diamonds. That was beautiful. Just
Thank you.
breathtaking. So thank you so much. And it is a timeless piece. So that's really impressive that you can write something so long ago, like and it still resonates with women today. So how do you think it's connected to Femme Noir show? Do you think there's a connection?
Absolutely. First of all, I think we all need a little bit of ego trip, right? And it sort of ties into, the work that I'm doing now with like radical self love and like, that divine feminine, So I think it's time for us to like really tap into our feminine power, So that's what that poem really speaks to, I think, to when women hear it or men, it kind of makes them humbles them to that feminine power that too many of us don't know we have.
And every woman
I love to talk about radical self-love. Really quickly, I don't know. I'll try. So, radical self-love.
Take your time. Take your time.
Thank
Yeah.
you, thank you, thank you. I think it just comes out of a need, right? Like even with the poem into our first steps towards healing, right? We've especially lately, like we've had a lot of conversation around healing, but this healing's been taking place for a long time. It's been in need. We've been in need for healing our wounds for a long time, not just our generational and historical wounds, but also our lived wounds. Some of the stuff that we've gone through, during this lifetime. Um, and so the question becomes, how do we begin to heal? How do we even start that journey? And so it's my idea. It's not novel or anything, but to just focus on loving ourselves first, because most of our negative behaviors or self-harmful type behaviors come from a lack of love and respect for self.
Um,
That's what I think. So if we start to love ourselves more, then we can begin to love each other more. We can have better relationships with other people if we have a better relationship with ourselves. If we can begin to be honest with ourselves, and we could begin to be honest with other people. It's sort of impossible if we're not. So if we're wounded, our relationships are going to be wounded until we, begin that healing process. So that's what radical self-love is about. And so I do workshops like twice a month on the new moon and the full moon to focus on loving ourselves.
so I'm just looking at, if you're wondering what I'm looking at the link tree to see where you are on there. But if you just, the links are in order. Your website is on the link tree, and they're in order of appearance. So it'll be right after Elena Nicola Arts Photography. You'll see DayatraAmber. The website, I think it's DayatraAmber.com, right?
Yeah, it's DayatraAmber.com. DayatraAmber.com.
Yes, and I think they should be able to see your name, just the same spelling that you can see on the banner. Wonderful
Okay.
guest Jennifer says, "I know, I'm lucky."
Thank
How lucky these
you.
people?
Thank you.
Everybody
Thank you.
makes
Thank
yes to
you.
me. Oh my God, the most brilliantly, insanely talented women, smart, helpful, just all around fantastic women say yes to the show, and I'm always so honored, and I really like so much, and I think I've had moments where I needed some radical self love. So how can you so you can go to your website and you can sign up for the workshops?
Yes. So you go to my website. The next workshop coming up at the end of this month, we have a full moon in Scorpio. So not only do I focus on like mental health and like loving ourselves, but I also dive into astrology and spirituality,
Nice.
just in a more general way.
Okay.
And so it's a really, even if you went to like one workshop and went to another one, it wouldn't be the same, because it would be a different sign. The planets are moving, so we sort of just tap into
Wow, that sounds so
the energy of right now, right? The
right
present
now.
moment. There's no time like the present. So just keeping in tune with that and loving on ourselves and just building community around that. And it's not just for women, although mostly women come.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
Yeah.
If it was just for women, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, men are welcome. I suspect that any man that would come to the workshop would be a man who is working on healing, working on being his best self. That's what it's all about. So it's not really gender based. We may have different issues depending on our gender, but for the most part, loving ourselves, that's across the board. It's across the board. We all have trauma to deal with. We all have our past to deal with and our present to deal with. So we have more in common than not.
Yeah, it sounds important. It sounds fun. It sounds like you get some sense of community. And during the pandemic, it's really, people are kind of like really struggling with an artist, an educator, a motivational speaker. Can you tell us how the pandemic changed the way you executed those roles?
Well, one way I would say is that because we couldn't meet in person, it just, I mean, I always did like online meetings anyways to some degree, but with
Okay.
with the pandemic and not being able to connect with people, that was just really challenging. You know what I mean? And so it actually caused other needs to pop up. Like I started to notice that like there's a lot of seniors who need help learning technology. Even younger people, but a lot of seniors, you know, especially who need help. So just trying to help people navigate through some of this technology and getting used to it to some degree, because I'm hoping we can be people eat together, be together at some point, but we still need to sort of graduate to some of this technology so that we can, you know, have some utility with it so that it can actually be useful, you know, to us if we know how to use it. If we don't know how to use it, it's not going to be useful. So it definitely helped me to recognize like those who need help, and it also made me realize how I could help, because I never would have thought that. I never considered myself like really into computers or tech savvy, but
Right.
the need for it has like made my tech score like just you know skyrocket. Like I had no idea that that would happen. So that was kind of that's kind of interesting. So just having us in this whole, you know, virtual world, like that's just been really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, really different.
It's been, I don't know that I'm any better than I was before. I'm more used to it, but I wouldn't say I'm tech savvy now. You know, I was interested because you just, to me, you just exude artist. Like, what inspired you to become an artist?
Okay, well we don't have the whole night, but I don't know. I come from
Okay.
a family of artists. I've been
You do.
like playing
Yeah.
music since I was a little kid. You know, performing, acting, dancing. It's just a natural part of life. You know. Yeah. Before I knew it, I've been playing this instrument for a long time. I've been writing poetry for a long time.
Yeah. To me, you're just definitely, I mean, I'm like, she was born as a star. That's just,
Well, you know what? I would just do it regardless because it brings me joy and it brings other people joy, and
there
that's
you
what
go.
makes me want
There
to
you go.
keep doing it. Is
There you
that, you
go.
know, it can touch somebody like in a really deep way. I think art has the ability to do that. It's such a beautiful gift that we have from Creator, art in all its forms, right? It has the
Yeah.
ability to go beyond words, you know, and really speak to our soul. So,
So I think that we have time for another question. We have a couple more time for a couple more questions. I wanted to ask you. Um, you come from a family of artists. What do so this might be something that you learned your whole life, but some artists don't. What do artists need to know about mental health and how to take care of those?
that is a great question. Um, First of all, everybody needs to know something about mental health, not just artists, but I'll talk
Right,
about artists in
right, I agree.
particular.
Yeah,
Many artists, most of us do have some sort of mental health issue. Mental health is a spectrum, right? So we all have certain traits and certain behaviors, right? And it's to what degree that it may, you know, cause problems, right? Cause problems in our relationships or whatever. But I think that as an artist, that to if we recognize that, I'm gonna quote my mentor. We have to realize that we all have a handful of crazy and respect that. That we all have a handful of crazy. So, and learn how to make it work for us, especially artists, because artists tend to have a little more crazy than most. I was listening to you and Alana's conversation, and she mentioned it. You got to be a little wild. You got to be a little, you know, ready to do some things that, you know, people just wouldn't normally want to do, right? or
I
feel
know, I
shy
do,
about
and
doing or
I
whatever.
think I have enough crazy for her.
Yeah, right. I think so too, Rachel. I think you're good. I think you're good with the crazy. Um, but yeah, just the way that we think of mental health, or even the word crazy, right? We throw that around, but on a real serious note, we all struggle with different things in our lives, and that is what's normal, right? Is that we all struggle at some point, and so I think
Yeah.
as an artist, or even as a person who hasn't yet found their niche, that it's important to okay, my phone's doing weird stuff. It's just important to try to use it,
Right.
whatever it is. Try to use it to express yourself. So
Yeah, I can see
yeah,
that. That's why in the beginning I said you guys are a little bit nervous, right? And I'm going to use my nerves for the show because I think that's just the part of it. I'm human, and I think people, they understand it's a live show, and I'm an artist. Just because I'm an artist doesn't mean that I'm a stone, robot or
listen,
something,
listen.
But
We
I
get
use my
nervous,
nerves
we
to
get
teach.
scared, we don't want to do it, or whatever is behind it.
Yeah.
And the best way to deal with that is to like just throw it back. Throw it back to the
Exactly.
audience. Like, y'all got me
Yeah.
scared. You know, push that energy
Right,
back
and I
out.
think people like authenticity. People appreciate authenticity. So I have had readings where I felt like I had my best game face on, and I wasn't as nervous, and I felt like I read poetry perfectly. And I found that like sometimes after readings that people wouldn't come up and say how they engaged with me during those readings like they normally did. And I think it was because they felt, wow, she's very standing. I'm more approachable when I'm being.
It is. It's very. It's a real intricate mix, right? Can you hear
Yes.
me? Okay, something sounded
Right.
weird. But it's a very intricate mix of authenticity, and then of course we rehearse certain things, right? We have to rehearse that too. So there's a real delicate blend
Yes.
of authentic practice as an artist, right? For the people to really feel you, but also to sort of be good at it, whatever it is that you're doing, right? So it's a real delicate mix. Yeah.
So I feel like this interview is making me feel like I need to go have a seat on your purple couch. Can you tell us about your purple couch?
Yes. So the Purple Couch, you can check out the Purple Couch on my YouTube page, which is also DayatraAmber. And that is a place where I like to facilitate authentic conversation about issues, period. So I have videos about anxiety, about depression, about women's health, and I also would like to build that up and also talk to a lot of the folks, especially in the Buffalo area, because one of the things that I noticed that not only does Buffalo and Western New York has like amazing artists, but the artists are also like activists and like
Yes.
working in the community, and it's like really a beautiful thing. So I really want to lift up those energies, right? And
Yeah.
sort of like sing the unsung kind of thing on the Purple Couch. So it's really about just opening up and giving the reels. I like to be authentic and allow or facilitate other people's authenticity as well, because that's those one of those things that is really hard to accomplish in the sort of status quo vibration, right? um,
Gotcha.
Someone always telling you how you got to be, and
Right.
I like to
Right.
just be,
Right.
just let us be,
Right.
don't get me
Right.
started.
When I was doing it in the creative writing program, most of my experiences were good, but sometimes I felt like they were trying to push me into some kind of a mold that wasn't me. So what I ended up doing is I got to the end of the program and then went back to the very first teacher that I had
do have some advice for creatives. Hit me up on my website. Maybe we could collaborate because I think one of the most important things that we can do, whether it's the pandemic or not, I think it's really important for artists to vibe with other artists and try to collaborate. If it's not fitting and it's inauthentic, don't worry about it. But I think opening ourselves up, just like what we're doing here, right? You reached out to me like, come, let's be on the show, let's do something, right? I think just opening ourselves up to meet people, to talk to people, you catch a vibe with somebody, you feeling it, have a conversation and see how we can help each other. I think it's just all about us uniting and building something great as we build this like amazing network of talented people. Like it's really beautiful. I think the internet allows for that, like in a way that in person doesn't. But I mean, I think having both is like really the best because I would hate to give up like in person meeting like ever. But I do find value in allowing for folks to stay at home and do things where before they may not be able to go out certain places, or maybe you can't take your children certain places, so you can't go, as opposed to doing something online, right? So just using that creativity to find ways to collaborate, find ways to express yourself. Like there's tons of ideas, tons of avenues using this technology.
I was just looking over. Hi, Manetta. I see Manetta T. Rose.
Peace and love, sister.
I just wanted to let you know she was on because I
Yes.
You two are close. So
Yes.
I want to say hi. I won't say nothing. I'm just saying there are artists that I'm interested in having on Poesia, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
Before we get to see you perform, because you're going to perform.
Yes.
Can you tell us, do you have anything to promote? Do you want to talk about anything at all?
Well, okay, so 2 or 3 things, right? First of all, I want to promote my website and the Radical Self-Love.
The website, you guys, I'm sorry, I was scrolling down. If you go to my link tree, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's the 4th, oh no, I'm sorry, wrong, I lied. It's the 6th link on the tree, and it just says DayatraAmber's website. It's on my link tree. Please go to her website. It is DayatraAmber, www.DayatraAmber.com. So, sorry.
Ashe, right. So that's for the Radical Self-Love workshops. I see people hitting it up already. Thank you. And so also I want to invite people to listen to WUFO on Sundays from 7 to 10. I am on a show called Project Access to Africa as DJ Bullet. I have many aliases that you may find out about. Rachel and your audience, Love London, DJ Bullet, Sister Cypher, Shook She the Mystic, Original Earth. Depends on, what I'm doing. So Sundays from 7 to 10, Project Access to Africa. We're on WUFO 1080 AM, 96.5 FM, or you can listen online at www.power965radio.com. And yeah.
And we'll share all of that information to Poesia Live after the show today. So if you want to hit me up behind the scenes, I'll make sure that's shared for you. And until then, everybody give it up for Dayatra. He's about to perform. I'm so excited. And who are you performing with today?
I have my good friend accompanying me on the djembe drum, Ross Jomo. And he is also a host on Project Access to Africa on Sundays on WUFO. So give it up for Ross Jomo.
Right. Okay,
Ashe.
Hard. The screen can. I'll applaud, but
Thanks.
let me just. I'll applaud since we can't have a real audience, but here you go.
Thank you, Rachel. My hips are likened to diamonds. When God made love, men cried rivers and their mothers feel it in their wombs. My skin is made with the finest silks from a free ka. Each curly lock on my head has the strength of 1,000 oxen. My spirit flows through cosmic breezes while men and children carry mothers on their backs through deserts of hot sands. My smile raises the sun and moves her very essence, under which the seas are warm and the earth is nourished. Water comes down from the sky and life develops from seeds and soils, from wetlands to dry lands, high to low. Inside my womb is earth. Mommies, daddies, and babies sing praises to me. The sunflower stands at attention while the ants march by in uniform, saluting my image. Dreams of melodies in motion, moving with the rhythm of the life drum, beating out the evil spirits of the native people. I am love, touching the hearts of men, transforming their spirits into the likeness of my own. I dance through streets of pain and hatred, fear and disease, and bring forth a revolution of compassion, trust, and faith, through which my creation must prosper. I am who was sent by me to save the world, here to protect men from themselves and bring to each himself as he was fashioned by me, through me, and for me. I am life. reality, vision, perception, massage membranes and pains knock from stains of the past, fast went away fears of years of not knowing but feeling, not loving but grieving, unknown graves full of guilt and regret. Haven't we met somewhere before? You, me, and us. Get the picture? I just came by to tell you that Jesus is 3 and child support check keep bouncing. What be this? Reality, commonality among the nation, globe, and universe. Truth and wisdom rehearsed. Trusting the knowing what is, was, and will come to be, to you, to me, our world spinning circles, landscape illusions, cosmic ciphers, spheres, and crystals. Break it down to the metaphysics of life, essence, and purpose. Why be? Why me? Reality in us. What is it? Can't find it. Perhaps I'll borrow yours. Suspended animation. Wake up breathing carbon dioxide. Photosynthesis. Reverse the order. Revealing unknown prophecies not written. Comprehended by the wise. Misunderstood conceptions. How, why, what is, will be. Thinking thoughts thunk deeply. Seeking alignment divine. Caught in whirlwinds of time. Escape to the future. Visit the past. Acknowledge the present. Heaven sent gifts nourishing souls, minds, and lyrics. Hear it, feel it, be it, see it real. Can it be real? Making me feel real. You and us real. Consciousness is real. Conceptualize thoughts and processes from which this masterpiece is deriving. Giving clarity to perceptions. Giving clarity to perceptions. Confinement is not in order. We want realness, reality, not theory, hypotheses, and experiments. Answers to questions, centuries old mysteries. Misunderstood, what is what, this is that. Buried in coffins, suffocating, alive and still breathe, make manifest realness. Reality. Several dimensions exist inside 7 or 9 months of gestation, waiting for the hour which stands between life and death. Reality, driven by hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Complications arise when disillusionment runs free from her master through the wilderness of mankind, confusing him, real. for my women friends. This is for my women friends. This is for my women friends whose souls were stole, living within a life that's pretend. Create the men that's killing them. Then do it again, 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 and again. This is for my women friends. We lie and we sin, loving these men, giving up or giving. Not this time, but when? Or will it sink in? Then do it again, 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 and again. This is for my women friends, the ones whose men sleeping with them. Ooh, locked in the flesh, a prison of sin, doing it again, 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 and again. This is for my women friends. Lay down your load, give it to him. Love comes from within, and when love stop pretend, truth begin. One more time. When love stop pretend, truth begin. When love stop pretend, truth begin. This is for my women friends. This one's for my women friends. Giving up or giving, not this time, but when? Or will it sink in? Do it again, again, and again. This one's for my women friends. Lay down your load, give it to him. Love comes from within, and when love stop pretend, truth begin. What is will be, and always been. What is will be, and always been. But this one's for my women friends whose souls were stole, living within a life that's pretend, a life that's pretend. Create the men that's killing them, then do it again, 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 and again. This one's for my women friends. Ashe. Paparazzi Jomo on the Jimbe, y'all. Ashe. DayatraAmber.com. Peace and love.
Celeste Glosson, Benadero says, greetings, beautiful queen. Celeste, peace and love, queen mother.
Ashe.
From Jennifer Campbell. Thank you so much. Incredible. Right? Everyone, and Sarah sends you hearts. Listen, that is so wonderful. Thank you for blessing me with that. You guys, again, the show stay on. When we drop it, I'll look at it later. I'll timestamp. Everybody's blown away. Thank you so much. If you want to hang out, I'm gonna bring you down and bring that was.
Thank you, love. I appreciate you, and we'll be talking really soon. Mwah. Thanks, everybody.
Hey,